What's up everyone, how's it going? Welcome to today's trade recap and market analysis video. Today is Tuesday, December the 9th. We took one quick trade early in the market and then it started to get really choppy and wicky in the later half of the day. After 9:50 it does look pretty clean back up to the upside, but we just hopped off the chart around 10 a.m. so we didn't really find any opportunity after 9, from 9 to 10 really. You can just look at all these wicks, but essentially, let's get straight into it, right? So what we saw was that let me take out our daily volume profiles. Okay. What we saw was that we had a I'm not even gonna lie, we had a higher time frame bearish bias. Why? Took out our bookmap liquidity right up at the top of this 4 hour. We're unable to push past that, showing bearish momentum. Then we're unable to push past it again. And then yeah, we made another lower high. So like price action looks like we're gonna head lower, hopefully take out these lows. That being said, we also made a lower high here, and we've also struggled to make and take out this liquidity prior to market open. So it's kind of iffy whether we're gonna take out this upper liquidity or lower liquidity. So, but what we do expect to happen is for us to take out either upper liquidity or lower liquidity. And as we saw, we took out the upper one and then we took out the lower one right before market close here. So essentially that's just the idea, right? The idea is we're either taking this upper one down or this lower one down. Our job is to identify using Orderflow whether we're going to take out the first one or the second one, or the upper one or the lower one, and see if there's any spread for us to be able to capture to make the market, to not necessarily make the market, but to follow the market towards efficiency. So yeah, so let's get straight into it. I don't think this video got to be too long because we can low-key skip over all of this odd price action, right? We'll go through it. We'll just go through it a tad bit quicker. And regarding NQ, what we see is that it's essentially the same thing, right? Took out these highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, bearish. We even had a 1 hour supply. But what we saw once again, though, and on NQ is actually interesting, right? Because what we saw was that we're continuing to make these lower highs only until the latter half of the day was when we started to take out the upper liquidity. And now we took out this liquidity and we started to dump again. So potentially we continue down, or this could just be a retracement to view up and we continue up. So there's that. But essentially pretty same. It's very wiki price action today. It's the day before FOMC. So it's to be not expect it's to be expected because lots of institutions are sitting on their hands. Not too much volume because they're waiting to see what the Fed will do tomorrow, because there's lots of speculation, especially this month in December, to see if rate cuts are actually going to happen. If they do happen, or if they don't, it's going to likely play a pretty big impact on the markets. So it's definitely very critical to keep up with that, even if that's for your long-term position, just to keep an eye on the markets. But it's definitely going to impact the markets pretty heavily, in my opinion. So with all that being said, oh, one more thing. We did have JOLTS job openings here today at 9 a.m., which did somewhat impact our trade. So with that being said, let's get straight into it, right? So coming upon market open, hold on. Coming right upon market open. Where is that right here? Right upon market open is pretty like everywhere, but what we see was that price started to head towards the upside, right? Now, everything is moving up and down here and there, so I'm waiting for targets and liquidity levels and barriers to actually solidify before I take anything. So right now we're just watching. But what we see is that the 6860 is pretty solid. Let's see if there's any opportunity within any of this. Like, it looks like there could be an opportunity there in the 840 candle. Looks like we took out that 6860. Potentially this 5-5 region can stand as great retracement area to potential higher liquidity at 6865. I mean, 6860 is defending once again, so still have to wait there. We take that out. We have a big, aha. Very aggressive selling, just block came in there. You can see that there. And it took out all this area, so I mean, I don't know if I would have entered long after that aggressive selling. It's definitely a good value area in terms of long. If, say, an individual is planning on going long for a higher time frame and saw this quick dump that's getting bought back up where sellers are unable to go lower, it's a great area to buy just in terms of value. I don't think I would have entered that though, simply because that 6860 level is holding. And yeah, I mean, right now it's quite mixed. But we do happen to push upon the upside. And also, there's pretty low volume here today. We're getting October style volume, if not summer volume right now. We're getting 10 to 20, 10 to 15K in volume, sometimes higher, sometimes lower, but it's around there compared to the pretty high volatility we saw in November. When is this? 45 candle. Potentially there's something here. Because what I'm noticing is that we are retracing, and we're retracing into this 6855 region, which could be applied as a barrier. It's not the strongest barrier, so it's getting stronger. So potentially, nope, it got broken through. So there's that. Okay. Watching, not really seeing anything here. Looks like that 6860 area will crack, but we're holding it pretty well. No, there's no opportunity for me here, is what essentially what I'm trying to say. There's a break, and soon here our actual trade will come. So, what do we notice now? Oops. What do we notice now? We've broken this 6860 region. We've headed higher. Next liquidity or next target, we have a multiple, right? We have 6865 above, 6845 below. Potentially even the 6847 might be developing now as well. But main things are 6845 and 6865. So we have to identify if it's here or here. Probability wise, it's much higher we're going here than down here, simply in terms of efficiency. But right now I'm just seeing if there's any opportunity or any signal that's telling me the price may want to head higher. So, I mean, we're starting to stack up a barrier there. It's not the greatest once again, but okay, now we have a barrier here at down here at between it's around 6858, right? It's around 6858. We're having a barrier there. We're having pretty good sized supporting mini barriers as well at 6860. And yeah, you can see that right there. So I mean, probability wise, if we enter here, it's pretty likely that this upper region will get taken out before we break through this low. Of course, that would be negative RR, but that's just an idea as to where proper value may lie in the market, right? We saw this barrier, we see the 6860 area holding, and in fact, we're seeing that sellers are unable to break through even though they're attempting to get in. Furthermore, we've seen big buyers enter in this same exact range prior, right? In this big delta region. you've seen big bars get in, and if we extend that, we can include that big bar as well, like such. And I mean, look at that. You can see it applied there as well. Like we saw this bounce up. But sellers, we have support. Like this wouldn't not make sense, right? It makes sense. If we enter long here, there's a high probability that our take profit is going to get hit. And if we place our stop below here or here, furthermore, there's a high probability that we won't get stopped out. Now, our entry was at 61.75. So 2 ticks below this. So we entered long, betting that price would head to this high before breaking these lower liquidity. I think I kept it, yeah, 5.9. We kept it right below this 6.0 region, right? So we're betting that because we've stalled at this region before a seller absorption, we will take out those highs before we push lower. And it does make sense. Icebergs are not really telling us too much, but they are supporting our side. They are positive. So there's that as well. And also CVD here looks to barely be negative. It looks like we might shift positive as well, but there's that. So we entered long, targeting this upper bookmap liquidity. Hold on. Our take profit was 6.5. It wasn't even 64.75. Typically our take profit's 64.5, but and we got really close. Yeah, we did get really close there. What did I just do? I just restarted it. Uh, uh, uh. Let me just, got pretty close to being stopped at a few ticks away. But again, that 6.0 level did hold really nicely. Pretty sure I entered here. Not there, I entered here. And yeah, that makes much more sense. I entered here because I thought that this would break. Why did I think it was gonna break? Because we tested it once before, and if this 6.0 level still holds, then now we have even more fuel to break through the top, to an extent. It's like a very simplified explanation. But as you can see, that's... Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. EST is when Jolts came out, and we were still in the trade during Jolts. So that was kind of not smart from us. We might as well have taken profit like 5 seconds earlier, right before the jobs release, because basically would have been 2 or 3 ticks less than our take profit, which can be a significant amount. But you see how the order book starts clearing up right before Jolts. It's a good sign for us to exit as well. Literally, I'm pretty sure it's 5 seconds. Now let's see. You can clearly see it, right? Literally starts clearing up 30 seconds prior, if not 20, 30 seconds prior. There, yeah, right at 57. Some liquidity even gets removed 1 second to the event release. And right at 10, they get executed really quickly. 6.5 region is still, we were holding throughout all of this. It was very scary, but it did happen to play in our favor. So, I mean, not the best holding from us simply because we held through that Jolts news when we really shouldn't have. Should have just taken profit early. But I mean, it's okay. Worked out in our favor this time. Might not always work in our favor, but decent trade in that extent. And we did happen to push up until higher bookmap liquidity as well. Now, I'm gonna go through this quickly from 10 to 9, but essentially, It's not really any targets towards the downside, and there's not really a crazy spread for us to take. No barrier retracement stop plays. Like here, sell barrier, where would we target? We'd probably target uh 5-8, but then that would only be like a 3 tick play. And I mean, it doesn't even work out, does it? It might work out. It does work out, I think. Potentially that could have been played, but only 2-3 takes, it's not worth it. Then we saw big selling come in. Spread is still fluctuating a lot. A lot. Big buying entered in there. Very big buying. We start pushing up higher. Um, not I'm looking for stuff that I could potentially take, but right now it's looking 50-50 if we're gonna take the upper one or lower one. Leaning towards the down one simply because we're closer. And we had that big buyer that's failing. We're stalling around this level, and if you look at 930, we don't have much volume at all. We're going sub 10k volume in a 5-minute candle. That's really low. And what we see is that right after taking out this liquidity, we pump up pretty strong. And again, the spread of liquidity is quite bare as well. It's decent. Now I would prefer price to head up to 6.6 region, 6.5. But we don't do that. Now I start to see seller urgency. You see seller urgency right there. Price starts falling. There's no real target on the downside. Maybe that's 6855 again, but again, not crazy. We're not retracing. We want to see good value retracement for us to enter. We don't really see that. I mean, we're still going through this, not seeing anything. We broke above upper liquidity now. Now would be the point where we're in this uptrend movement, and that's what I'm looking to see if there's any place to capture on. I mean, I see some seller absorption there and there, potentially something there. We'll see. Kind of iffy again. No real targets for us to get. Still watching to see if there's anything. Start pushing up. There is some value here. Potentially that 6870 area could be a good target. We need a retracement though in order to enter something like such. Ooh, potentially here. I mean, but if you look at the spread, it's just falling us down. What time is this? 10. Right here. Icebergs are not crazy. Seller urgency, yeah, I would not have entered this simply because of the seller urgency to an extent. Ooh, this might be a good play if we retrace down there. What? Don't really see anything I'm liking that crazy. Honestly, I would prefer shorts there, but it's like very iffy. The spread is not crazy. It's not good. At least, push up a little bit. Again, 7K volume, that's very, very low. You start pushing up, falling. That liquidity is holding though, that's the issue. Mm, not seeing much throughout any of this. No opportunity, so that's basically the end of the session. So, I mean, till then, I didn't really see any opportunity, especially in this big block. Didn't see any opportunity. And then the longs didn't provide much opportunity that I would have taken as well. So, that being said, that's basically all I have here for today. This is kind of long. I didn't talk too much simply because like I'm really tired, but we've gone over the important stuff for today. I don't really know what more I could have said, but that's basically it for today. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below or join the completely free Discord server. The link is in the description down below as well. Lots of free resources, free community, everything's free. Definitely recommend you guys check it out. Also, if you want to check out the Orderflow tools, which I'm using Addis, one of our channel partners, and Bookmap live streams, then definitely recommend you guys to check those out in the link in the description down below as well. Both of them have lots of free functionalities, so that's why I recommend them. But as always, do research and take your own time to research as well. So with that being said, I'll see you guys tomorrow for the next market analysis or trade recap session. I guess I'll see you guys then. Goodbye.